Hello, hello, hello. Good night, everybody. Good night. How are
Good
you guys
night.
doing? Yeah. So we're here another Sunday with another episode. This one promises to be interesting, right, Shai?
Definitely.
Yeah. So do you want to tell them what the channel is about?
So, welcome to Relationship Circle with OGs, where we delve into relationships, discussion about relationships, various aspects of the relationship, encompassing personal experiences of their own and others. We aim to openly discuss sensitive topics like topics where persons don't necessarily want to talk about. Here so is what you call a safe space and to contribute to encourage healthy fun relationships.
Yeah. So as Cheyenne said, it's a safe space. We're here to share and we're here to learn. And if you guys have been following for the month of February, we have been featuring various couples, and we have spoken about millennial marriages. Funny enough, we started with the Allens and we're ending the month with the Allens. So we started
Yes.
with Camille and Janae Allen, and we're ending with Kavan and Keisha Allen. And yes, people, they're related. And we also had a couple speaking about business, doing business together. And last week we did financial talks, money and marriage. And it was quite interesting. So
And
tonight we're
eye-opening.
talking about sex and intimacy, right? We want to learn the right things and the right way and the biblical and spiritual way of doing it. So, without further ado, I want to welcome our guests for tonight, Kavan and Keisha Allen.
Good night, everyone. I feel like you gave us this topic because you have four children. You're like, on sex
Maybe,
four
just
times.
maybe.
At least on sex four times. No?
Maybe, just maybe.
Oh,
So,
oh, oh.
yeah. So, guys, remember to let us know that you're here. I'm seeing I Evolve Global so far. Good night. Hey, Sharika. All right. So, we're going to jump right into it. And we're starting out very simple first, and then we get
Simple,
into
simple.
into. So the first question is, how did you guys meet, and how long have you been married?
Interesting. Okay.
It's such a long story.
Just
Give me the
a
short
short
version.
version.
So we were introduced by mutual friends in high school, like early high school. But we knew that the other existed, but we never
But we
really
weren't
talked or
friends.
connected. So if I saw her in half a tree or something, if I saw her in the spaces that we might pass, I might wave, or at least just say, "Oh, I know that girl is so and so friend." But we never spoke.
Yep.
But then my godparents passed a church, and they were having a worship night, and she was a part of the team leading the worship night. By then I was what, 21, 20, 20, 20,
20.
20, yeah. But and I'm like, oh, I know you, Keisha, what's up? And she's like, come on, what's up? And then after that, she started stalking me because I went to
Not
another
the
church.
stock.
I went to another church, and she was there. I've been going to that church.
He came to my church.
No,
Right.
first of all, she went to a different branch,
Mm.
and when I went
And
to
then
that
I went.
branch, I didn't know that she was there. I was going to that branch like 3 weeks prior or more. Then the Keisha there. Then one day I went there again, and she was there leading worship. And we both decided to serve that branch. They had meetings on a Saturday night, and so we were both helping that church build a youth ministry.
Yeah.
And so we started working together.
Yeah, and then became best
Yeah.
friends. And the rest was history.
Wow.
History.
Oh,
Yes,
and we get
Tisha,
married
I
first.
choose say you did a star Kavan.
Yeah,
Wink,
for
wink.
real.
No, she too cute
No.
for start, man. Me not like you. It
So
don't
you
come
did
with
a
that.
star card.
I could have said that he stalked me, but
Exactly. That's what me feel too.
I think our paths just aligned
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that was just the purpose.
I
Right.
think there's something poetic in deciding that you're going to serve and help. God asked me, go do this. I went to another church. She went to another branch of that church.
Mm-hmm.
But we felt the Lord. The pastor asked me. I think he asked you as well, I remember. You just decided.
I decided
So
actually.
the
The
Lord,
Lord
the,
told
the
me
Lord, yes,
to
said
go
to
and
her,
serve the youth ministry in that church because I
and
was
yeah,
serving at the youth ministry at the Kingston branch, and so
yeah,
Wow.
and so I just gave God my yes, and you can see
Mhm.
that He had big plans. So
Yep.
Very big
sometimes
plan.
just trust the leading of the Lord. You might get surprises.
Right. And then how long have you
Right.
guys been married now?
Almost 13 years. March 26th will be 13 years.
Shall I believe that?
I look like
Oh,
13.
oh,
That's let me say. Una not even look like on a past a certain age. Like
Thank
how?
you, thank you. So this is why I came to this
you
program.
counting properly?
Why?
You counting properly?
Yes, 13 years, four
So we
children.
need to count a little better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Shai, you want to ask the next question?
Why it
Sure.
sound like a question? I'm gonna be very
Troublesome.
Nobody wants to ask the question.
You are, you are.
Well, ready?
Yes.
All right. What are some common misconceptions or myths about sex?
Okay.
Um, I think for males, there is this idea that if you, I don't know the words that we can use on the Lord's internet. Um, I use some euphemisms to be safe. So I think men feel bad. I think something is wrong if you finish the job
Quickly.
quickly.
Mm,
If worse, you finish the job and your partner don't ever start the race yet.
right.
It can play on a man's ego. But I think it's so interesting because this is something that you can have more than one rounds. You can go again. You can learn each other. Um, you can just build your stamina. I don't know if that's a better term. um, so I think the world has made us, because this is your wife. This is not a woman down the road where you try to impress her and say you have
Exactly.
this one chance to go get something tonight and see if she'll give me back tomorrow. No, you can grow, you can learn each other, you can learn yourself, you can. If your wife has not yet reached the point of glory, you can go again, and again, as long as it
Or,
takes to ensure that everybody is satisfied. So I,
Yeah.
I I think we make much of something that should be joyous and should be
Yeah.
trying to help the other, trying to please the other. You know.
Yeah. I would add to that because of how we are socialized, a lot of women feel like if we haven't reached glory on the first go or at all, that it cannot be enjoyable. But one of the things that I have learned is that most women don't actually get to that place easily. And so you will find that a lot of the experiences won't necessarily take you there, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
And by a lot, you don't mean a lot.
No, but
No, it's true. It's true. It's
no,
true.
but as
100%.
Keisha rightfully said though, and
Yeah.
you said it, Kavan, is I think persons really Like that's a big misconception, especially for males. And it takes more for a female because I think,
A lot more.
yeah, and having conversations with males way before the action even starts, them
Exactly.
start thinking about it already.
Just a
Females,
thought for them.
yeah. So by the time they are ready to go into it, them almost
We're gone, brother. We got worse. If
well,
you
well,
sleep
well.
beside woman every night, Jamelia,
And now
and
get
nothing
done.
a
And a
run,
week pass.
and then now after a week, she a go, brother, listen, I can't hold it. But don't promise you nothing. Listen, I'm going to Keisha, if we're not practicing over and over, but not promise you nothing too long. Alright?
Right,
Because
right.
it's just it's just love. It's just
Yeah, the more often you do it, the longer
yeah,
you
it
last. That's
frequency helps with that.
yeah.
And so if for a man, because as you rightfully said, Jam, we are there. Is we think about it a lot. We want to have sex. We want to go there. It can sometimes make you I'm trying to use safe words. Make you reach quickly, more quickly than even you would want to. But I think it's important for the wife to not shame your husband.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know, I've heard some stuff, and I when I hear it, I just thank God for my wife because many times that is the case. But
right.
the truth is, women, if it is that boom, they say no man, I want to go again, then go again. You have discussions where let's do more foreplay, let's do this,
Mm-hmm.
let's do that. It's not. I don't think it's an issue to. Thank you for the word, William. Anxiety. I don't think it's an issue that has become that gives rise to disrespect,
Agree.
to frustration. If it is a
You have
well,
your entire life to figure it out, and I think
yeah,
Right.
the more we are committed to learn each other, the better it gets. And so I think we put too much pressure on ourselves and on that aspect of marriage, and we feel like it has to measure up to what the songs say and what we hear about and what the movies say.
Yeah.
But everybody has to run their own race, and you have to learn your partner and what triggers them, what helps
hmm,
and stuff like that.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And that's why we're going to move basically into the other question, which says, why is it important for couples to prioritize their sexual health and intimacy in their marriage?
Sexual health.
Because the man will dead. That's why it's important. The man will kill over. Uh, there are some marriages where the woman has the the higher
Libido.
libido, or that happens. But generally, it's the man
Higher sex drive.
higher sex drive. But generally, it's the man. And but no matter how it go, you hardly have two partners that can go very long without sex. Hardly ever. I've never met a couple where,
Unless something else is broken.
yeah, I've never met a couple that has that issue. So we people's love language is different, and most men love. Thank you. Bernardo said death. Yes, death. We're gonna dead. Right? Says give your husband sex today, you'll keep him alive. Let's just put that as
We need
a
to back
bumper
up
sticker.
here.
A bumper. No, but really there is normally somebody has a higher libido and really can function well without that. Most men touch, what's the word? Love language
Yeah,
is
physical
physical
touch.
Right.
touch, and stuff like that really gets them going, and it's how they feel love. So can
Right.
you imagine that one person only feel love when they give them sex? And you not give them none? So they won't feel love. And their turn will be harder for them to show you love. And the marriage won't last that much longer with two people feeling unloved. So I feel it's so important. And two, it connects you. That no matter how you want to put it, you literally become one. It's God's way of helping two people to become one. There are other things that you must do. But on a physical level, sex is what seals it and helps you to become one mind and one body. And when you give yourself to each other that way, man, it is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
So
and I think in order to prioritize sex in marriage and stuff, I think both people have to be committed to ensuring that they are looking out for the next person. And so, and that means that it can't be one sided. For women, sex doesn't start when the touching starts or in the bedroom. It
Mm.
starts long before that. It is everything that you do throughout the day. The
Right.
things you say, how you treat me, the things you help with, and it depends on the love language as well. I don't like to use a broad brush to paint everybody, but for most women, there are little things that makes us more at ease and more open to, going there. And so I think God created it, made it in such a way where
Mm.
the men are always ready and willing to go for the most part, because some men, a few men are wired differently, and then the woman needs certain little things in order to feel loved and to feel more open, and so it helps both sides to not be selfish, because I can't just be thinking about, oh, the dishes never washed and the house dirty and all these things on my mind, and he's trying to get something and I'm thinking
Yeah.
a million other things, and um and then he can just be thinking, hey, me need this, me need sex now, and me this, that, whatever. He has to think about the little thoughtful things that may help me to be at ease. And so it helps us to look out for each other, because sex is not just what we start doing in a bedroom. It starts long before that. And so if we're mindful of that, then our sex life will be much more healthy, because everybody is looking out for each other.
Amen.
Wow.
Man,
The
It
women have to
man,
be the
I
women
am
jumping on
learning.
that, you know.
it doesn't just start there, it starts before.
Long before.
So prioritizing is really serving each other,
Yes.
ensuring for a happy, healthy marriage where we are looking out for the best interests of each other. Because it's, even for men, it's more than a physical
It's
thing.
more
When
enjoyable
I,
when
it's more enjoyable. When I am
connect.
like, yo, I really love this person really love me, it really makes for a better connection. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm learning. Alright. Next question. What strategies do you recommend for fostering trust and openness in discussing intimate topics?
no,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was going to say, what strategies would you? I'm like, what are you going to ask me? Okay, to foster trust
And intimacy.
And
and,
open.
and openness
Hmm.
Yeah.
in communication.
Right.
Right.
But
And
yeah,
communicate.
man. So I think one, when you're talking about sex, it can really be a hit on the ego for me, because we hear the songs and we like to think we are long distance tullers, and that we make our wife this and that and that. So when the truth of the matter of fact comes that, hey, I may not be satisfied, or I prefer this, or what,
Mm-hmm.
it can hit on our egos. So I think we have to say it in a very, the best way is
Respectful way.
respectful. You have to find a way not to make a man feel like him just is an embarrassment to human race, But
Right.
just share. And men must be open as well. And it's so interesting that you have more men sharing their sexual desires in a marriage than women.
Right.
They have desires,
Mm-hmm.
but they are just not the one to be like, I would want, one of my things is and so I think as long as there's respect and we share even our frustration in a, and in a respectful way, and don't just share frustrations to share such frustration's sake.
What would that?
Oh
Mighty.
my god. I won't read
Wow.
that one.
Comments
I
are.
will. I will. I will. My mother hear me read that question. That comment. No. So I don't remember where I was.
Amen, my brother.
Uh, yeah. Respect in your communication, openness. But we have to share. We have to share
Yeah.
how we feel. But don't share just from a frustration. Give suggestions like, hey, you know, this I really love. You let's start with really love, especially the day before one time. That's helpful. I really love when you did this, when we used to do that. If they've never done it, I would love to try. Listen, man, now feel no way if you tell them say I want to try something with sex. I love to try. This is what you say. The last time was so like, Lord God, we need to drop asleep. We don't know. That is when, it can become a tough discussion and the person feel betrayed and can't trust you with their emotions. And
Yeah.
don't compare your partner to anybody else. Do not. Sex wasn't made for comparison. That's why you should only have it with your wife or your husband. So if you
Preach
did,
it now.
so if you end up have a little comparison you can make, cover yourself under the blood, keep it to yourself, my friend. No, no. And if you support me and
Lord,
female,
Ouch.
sir.
it will not help you in the long run. Man. I promise you.
Yeah.
You think you just, I tell my wife everything, I tell my husband everything. When it comes to that part of a man's life, when it comes to a woman's insecurity, and you got to tell her, say, Keisha
Mash up.
did, and you got to tell him, say, no, well, don't call my name. Many Keishas, not many covers. Yeah? It really hits somewhere. So let's stay away from the comparison. It's not for
Yeah.
comparison.
And I think for women we tend to keep things in until we're frustrated and then say it. But communication has to be a constant thing that you practice. And we have to know that communication is not just words. So while it is happening, if him do something where you say you like that, tell him to continue doing that, or you can use your hand to guide the hand or whatever it is so that he knows that
Yeah.
hey, you liking that, so continue doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
communicate
Because
communicate
if I go
while it
by
is
in mind,
happening. Don't wait until
you're
5 different experiences
Yeah.
and then you say you always don't do this or you don't do this and I don't enjoy. No, you tried things and in the moment you're communicating
You
whether
communicate what you like.
with words or with or
One thing with
non-verbally.
my wife, when she tell
You
you,
let them know what you like.
she said, you did a movie on it. No, that's rough stuff.
Yeah, or you
But
just
it helped me.
says the words
And she
like
said that
gentle, and then
gentle.
he
She's
calms
like
down. Because
gentle.
sometimes
Now
they
me get carried away no man.
Not the excitement.
Right? She said gentle. It
yeah.
helps.
So you find safe words to use in the moment, and just be. And I think those kind of strategies and doing that will help make everybody feel safe enough to just talk about it or communicate
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're feeling, and
Keisha,
eventually you will know that this is what they love, this
you
is
know,
what they don't.
Keisha said something about, even just by your moving the hand back to a place or setting the person back to whatever it
Or
is.
setting
Self,
yourself or
yeah,
telling you want to change.
but even before you say your gestures and your hand, whatever can, and I use this to say guide. And
Guide.
I don't know how TMI this is, but I'll tell you. Like Keisha laugh, I don't feel like
I know what you're going
if
to say.
if my wife doesn't guide me, and I promise you, I'm going to find it, especially quickly. 13 years of marriage, and I need guidance too. So, no, I'm being honest. You see, sometimes me are free enough man and enough woman marriage right now.
Right.
Them have to guide their husband and what this and we can't, and we are trying to have sex and them are miss, and we can't bother me. Hold it
It's pretty easy to
and
me.
guide it.
To me.
Just yes. So, anyways, that's communication as well. Praise the
Yes.
Lord.
Yeah, and then know too that over time, what you like today may
You're not
change.
gonna like it
So,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Yes.
So sometimes let me tell you about men. You see, when you tell them you like something,
I eat that.
They eat that. They kill it with it.
Yeah.
it's going
Straight
to be
to it.
rinse and repeat.
Straight.
So you have to keep communicating. Don't get vexed because them just do the one thing. If something else is what you're feeling today, then
Let me-
Hear my humble cry. Hear my humble cry, my brother.
Yeah, so just with those things in mind, just be willing and prepared to always be communicating in a respectful
In a
way.
respectful way. It's
Right.
supposed to be enjoyable, you know, guys. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be a fun time, and so, we take it so serious. We miss out on the
Sometimes we laugh at
Sometimes we
each
laugh
other.
off ourselves. Listen, when we just man and we are trying everything. Please and please. Enough time the session don't laugh because when we are trying. Yeah? Don't make TV trick you. Don't listen. For those who have been exposed to pornography, I'm sorry, but get it out of your head. These people are do that in a 50 takes. Take one, take two. You are trying to turn your wife
In a gymnast
in a gymnast
and
and
acrobats,
yeah.
all kind
But
of.
it's supposed to be enjoyable. So don't make the thing become so
Oh, it's so
serious.
funny.
But then, even as you mentioned that Doka one, the whole pornography thing, I think I would want to go into that a little bit in the sense of how do you think it affects like marriages or people overall? I know for me, like growing up, it was never a thing that personally I was into because I just always think that sex more sensual than that.
Mm.
So I would have had the reality check from a long time to say, oh no, there's no way. And whatever them doing, there's no love in it and the disconnection and all of that. But I know that a lot of young people, a lot of
Mm.
persons, a lot of single people really have a problem with it and really struggle with it. And as I rightfully say, really take it as a tool then to go into bedrooms, expecting the most out
Mm.
of
The
it.
expectations, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard
So
of couples who actually
Watch
watch
it
it in
to
order to,
get in the mood and to get something going.
yeah,
as in them watch it together
yeah,
or
Well, I
together
know
in
some men
order to.
who can't get in the mood without it, so they
oh my
invite their wife to watch it with them. You see, it's very addictive and it really erodes your desire for one person because you're seeing different people, you are seeing them do so many different things, and it really. I remember this one's a Christian. This is a young man. He's not married. He live with his girlfriend. We were playing ball, and he's saying, since he stopped watching pornography, he realized he's more attracted to his girlfriend, and that their sex life is better because him say
Yeah,
sometimes
the
just
bodies
him
that you
couldn't get it
see
going.
in.
Him just like sometimes she want it and him just not in the mood. But once he got torn out of the picture, he realized he's more available sexually for her, and that's what happened to many married couples. And it also the expectation. When your expectation for sex is guided by a movie, I tell you, you're never going to be fulfilled because the things that you're watching, they are they themselves can do it. They are taking many
Camera tricks.
takes and many angles to make the thing look and see. Most of them are fake. Their reaction and their response.
Ah,
A lot of them are take different drugs to get in the mood. So it really made
so a lot of
the
the bodies are enhanced, and with marriage, that is a long term thing. As
yeah.
women, our bodies change. If the men's bodies change, and so if that's what you are feeding on, and you feel like that's what you should be attracted to, then what happens after one child comes, two children, whatever, or what happen when you just over time, your age, you just your body changes, things about you change. What then?
yeah. So it's just very important that we we, we learn self control in that way. It really destroys your ability to have intimacy, and then with that comes masturbation, especially for the man. I, I'm trying to be very. If you use your hand to please yourself, nothing can beat your hand. Why? Your hand can
Tight.
close yes, you can close it as tight. I'm telling you.
No,
Then
because I've heard men say that. I've
yeah,
heard men say
but
that,
it's
that
true.
nothing can beat them and
And then the next part about it, to depending on how you feel, you can adjust your hand and do. But at the speed, as you think it, you can do it. So what you're ending up doing now is setting yourself to be only you can only be pleased by you, and
yeah.
so you have no much use. You don't get the enjoyment from your wife And so you need to so
Yeah.
it's
And then you're going to go in with a very selfish mindset because
mm,
you go in
about me.
feeling like I need to feel this way or be pleased. And so that's why a lot of women don't enjoy sex in marriage because a lot of the men have been feeding on porn. And I know women watch porn too, but just general thing that I majority is that the men just going thinking about what they want, and they're not thinking about how do I ensure that she enjoys it too. Because and so we're telling them how much extra benefit and what
Yeah.
they want and which part of them, which other part of them body they must use
Yeah.
without thinking about how can I
Right, please you.
ensure you
I, I,
enjoy
I I
this.
want because we were on the men. Women know what's very popular as a woman, a single woman, especially some married women having sex toys and how they use it, vibrators, all kind of things. And I'm telling you, it's not realistic. When your
Nope.
body is adjusted to that, man, I'm telling you, it's
Me not
really you
understand
not
it.
laugh no, but it's
I don't
true.
get it.
It's
Cause
really not. I don't know if I can
nothing
say good
beats
night, Renee, in the middle of all of this.
the real
But
sex.
in the middle of this, Renee say good night, everyone. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's not realistic, and so you are adjusting your body with an expectation for something that only an inanimate object can give you. And so you're going to destroy intimacy in marriage. And so I
And the
do
same
think,
thing goes because you know where to put it and how to please yourself.
yeah, when to
You
stop, when
don't
to
need the other person.
talk to your husband. Say go
And that's
faster,
why them
go
cuss,
slower,
right?
go talk to your, and so him can read your mind.
Right.
And so these are some of the things I think are necessary. Having a question from the live audience. Okay, so this person asked me quickly what if they use ties on each other. I mean that get me nervous.
It does. Well, it depends on the
I was
toy.
going to ask, I was going to go there in a
Depends
comment
on
to
the
say,
time.
what if,
Depends on
you
the
know, like
toy. I
couples
think,
actually use it? Like, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like I wouldn't say you're dependent on it in that case. But I
So
mean,
we
I
are
don't
friends.
know to what extent. But I think
Some I
I
mean there are so many. I would say Kavan just think dildos, vibrators,
oh you said those
those
are
things
out of it.
that are
What if
for
it's handcuffed?
penetration
What if it's
and
handcuffed
for
and
masturbation, whichever way, a man having a sex dolly or something that I just think you stay away from those things.
okay.
But there are other things that I guess Keisha talk about handcuff. I mean, if that's your thing. Uh, have fun. Just make
Wait.
sure the key not too far.
Wait,
You know.
Sandy.
It's
Uh,
stuck and
me-
can't come
I
out,
don't
right?
know. I don't know. Me don't know. Brother, me never like slavery, so. You know? You understand? But if I mean to each his own. I ain't coming in your bedroom, but just be careful that people can live after the moment.
As
And
long as it's healthy and not going.
Any
yeah.
harm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to the point that Kavan mentioned about pornography and like it opening up doors to like other people then. And I think perhaps we take that lightly and sometimes we realize that we have like attraction to additional people in our marriages or whatever and not realizing like the seed of it or the root
It's
of it.
pornography. No, I agree with you. That's a
Yeah.
big major point because the thing with pornography, why it deceives us, because we don't know the person we're looking at.
Right.
But it begins to seep into your heart that I can lust and enjoy another person.
As long as
You
I'm
know,
not
you
doing the
understand? And
thing
so the
outright
next thing you're having sex with your spouse, and many people have this, and
and
they
I think
think
about
about somebody
somebody
else. Whether somebody them did say, them not
roughly.
really know the person. I could be somebody them know. And so these are things that I mean, this wasn't how God made it, the experience to be. This
Yeah.
is this doesn't give best enjoyment. And so these are things that you have to work on, and with God's grace, because it's very addictive. So we saying this now just tomorrow. All right, we don't know. It's
Yeah,
going to take
I
real
take a
work.
while.
It's going to take real work, and but it's worth it because it will fix a lot of your intimacy issues if you just make that one decision to come off pornography. Your dream life is affected by it. Your I mean, there are so many
Things.
things, and it just really make the experience horrible. So thank you for bringing that point up.
Yeah, because you see, and that's why we have these conversations. Because is during these conversations we learn so much, and that is just such a powerful point for like married couples and singles. Singles to know that prepare themselves to get married. There are some things that they have to kind of start work on from now, and then with married people, maybe like assess your marriage to see like, are we having certain issues and how can we adjust and things like this is how them can adjust to improve their sexual life. Wow, that was strong. All right, so we kind of touched the other question. We kind of touched a bit on some part of it, but like the end part we didn't. So how can couples improve their communication around sexual desires, boundaries, and consent?
Boundaries and consent.
So we
I
did
like,
touch on the communication, but the
Yeah, yeah,
boundaries
yeah.
and
I
the
like the
consent.
boundaries word. I like that word a lot
You know,
because I don't understand the concept.
in marriage, and I mean, sex should be marriage, but we should be so considerate, thinking I want to please my wife. Yes, I'm aroused. I would love to have sex, but I want to pleasure my spouse. I want them to enjoy it. And if that is at the forefront of your mind, I feel like it sets the tone. So it's easy for your spouse to tell your boundaries. Because if you want to please them, it's easy for them to say, well, this. And I am okay with somebody stating their sexual desire to each other. But you must be okay with the person not there yet. And the reality is you have the rest of your life. I'm not saying you must coerce, but you can say, boy, me still would have like one day. Yeah, understand? We would
Yeah.
have like to bust me. But and that's okay to share, but they should feel as if they can say, boy, I'm not there yet. Because you never want somebody to do something that they don't enjoy. And at least when it's about love and you share it and them say, no, boy, anniversary, birthday, Christmas, we don't know, me try it. And see if that's something that brings pleasure both ways. They never know. When it's done in that spirit, it might be something that, can happen again. But what tends to happen is we have our fantasies and we are shoving it down the other person's throat. That even if they do fulfill it, it felt like somebody put a gun to my head, and I don't want to really get involved in that again. And so, when you make it about pleasing the other person, boundaries are easier to talk about, and they're going to feel comfortable. Can't put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing about boundaries, I think,
No kind of hard question. Put it in the
yeah,
chat.
I think it is important to talk about sex before you get married as well.
Mhm.
I
In
don't
a
know.
control setting.
In our control, yeah.
What's
Whether
a disclaimer?
whether it is in well, it do, well, some conversations you can't really have in a controlled setting, but there are certain things. Like for example, there is one thing that I told Kavan that is an absolute no, no. We're not do that. And that it's something that has become popular. I realize, and I don't get it because as
But
far
it's
as
not,
I
it's not
know,
healthy.
there is an entrance and there's an exit, and we don't do the exits for entry.
Right.
Like for me, that is a hell no. Can I say that? so, so that I was very. I don't even know if we said that before we got married, but
But
like
yeah,
conversations came up, and I was like, people actually do. I'm like, no, brother, we will explore other things with you, but no, we not do that. So I think we have to be. Let me tell you, I think for us because we were such good friends,
mm,
and
Yeah.
because just the respect that we have for each other, it was easy for us to communicate because I am very introverted, and then both of us got saved. Well, him grew up in a church. I got saved very young. Um, so certain conversations you don't really, you never learn that you should have these conversations, but like we did naturally. And so I think set the tone by ensuring that the person that you're going to marry, that you and them a friend, that's when comfortable talking to each other about anything, so that even these hard conversation, but boundaries have to be set, because if you just go for anything, that can spiral into all kind of other things. I know married men or women who forcing their partner to have threesomes and all kind. Like for me, it's like whether no, and it's like no matter how the person say no, I'm nothing. So it's like them vex or them feel. But I think you have to respect the person in such a way that you if certain things, if you even if you bring it to them, because you say you just have to ask or whatever, and it is a
Yeah.
different, that you respect them enough to say no, and you don't take it from me and say, all right, me go to road, go get it from somebody else, because
Right.
that is a mindset of some people too. But I think boundaries start with respect, and you should marry somebody that you respect
That you respect
wholeheartedly,
and respects
and
you.
you should ensure that they respect you,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of us teach people how to treat us without saying words or whatever non-verbally, by just the things that we are okay with. Like while in a dating process, the person just may say certain things to you or be rude in a certain way, and you did make it slide. So I think we have to start with boundaries in terms of what we accept and how we are treated and how we treat each other from before marriage, so that these little things don't become a big problem.
Solid, solid, solid. I'm learning. I'm learning. All right, next question.
I know Keisha kind of touch it little, but
Mm-hmm.
a question that pop up and in my live
Oh,
audience
proceed.
was that what if your spouse or your husband is forcing you to have sex? Uh, uh,
Forcing.
um, when
Force
I
the
like to,
but
but I
Or
think force. It depends on how the because there is force and there's force, and I don't know. Maybe for
Yeah, to
somebody,
what extent
what
is
is
forcing?
force
yeah,
for you may just be fun for
Yeah.
another person. But
yeah.
Is it
force,
forced in
like
terms
you
of
said,
they
no, and them
keep
hold you down,
asking,
and
or
them, then
they keep asking?
keep.
Well, keep asking. You wouldn't define that as force. Oh, they hold you down.
Now the hold down thing kind of
Wow.
frightening still.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
No,
know.
that I think that is the
it,
R word.
it,
The old down is the R word.
yeah.
I know some men feel like if I initiate after a
No,
while,
some men feel like
you
a them
will.
wife, so them own you, and them them for
Yeah.
just take it when them
No,
want it.
but I would say though, if you're
That
in
is
a
a no.
marriage, well, I'm saying to the men here that you should never have to physically force your wife.
Right.
I mean, me try enough things, but even when me I try, when me I shoot my shot, you understand? And me I touch here, so I am
Yeah, it's
very,
not being
I
forceful.
acknowledge that me I shoot a shot. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Hopefully it scored, but I'm acknowledged.
Yeah, if you go get
Somebody
vexed
say,
and
hold on,
can be a
can be a
turner.
turn. Well,
Wow.
make sure you communicate that clearly to your husband.
Wow.
All right? But husband, you should never tell you
Wow.
that. Do not try this at home. No, if she say, hold me down, baby, me like it, then do your thing, have fun. But I would say, have a safe word.
Yeah.
yes,
Have a word when we say this, it
yeah,
means
mean
hold on
stop.
now, play. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
But
We have to be careful what we practice though, because it can open certain doors, and if if we're training our minds to not have self control, can we feel like hold on kind of tell your mind say, oh,
anytime
we
we want
must
to
just
get
take
it,
it when we
yeah,
want
yeah, when
it.
we take it, we must just.
Yeah, if you if you can't have self control, eh,
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because, but I mean, yeah, we just have to. If that is your thing, you communicate it, you share it. My suggestion: have a word that even
Not
in the
for the
midst of
talk
that,
about if the woman is okay
if the
with that.
woman is okay with it, maybe the woman that hold on the man who know.
It's tricky,
But no,
brother.
whoever like the hold on thing, you can communicate it.
But
And I
would a
suggest,
man complain if
no,
a woman hold him
I don't
down?
know how these
Can
things
bust
go.
a brick
think
attack.
so.
But you have a
No, no,
word.
no, no. Season one, Bridgerton.
But have a
Take
word
it.
that you can use in the midst of the heat of the whole down. If you are saying no, so if I say bam, say me nah ram.
May I tell my daughter straight
Um,
up? No, no man
No
no
make no
fool
man
you
hold it
down.
down.
That is
Yeah,
not.
that is the truth.
That not keep.
That no, yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, no,
No,
no, no,
no.
no, no. My consent is very important, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah,
fair.
it is very important.
All right, we're on to the next question. How do body image and self-esteem affect sexual confidence, intimacy? No, sexual confidence and intimacy within a relationship. If you touch on it, let us feel about.
Yeah,
It's a big deal
yeah.
actually.
Well, it is a big deal. I like to think I'm very shallow, but I think my marriage though has gone beyond physical. I love Keisha. I want to have sex with Keisha because Keisha is Keisha. And we connect on a level beyond physical things. So, me put on a little weight. I never did this weighty one time.
I love it.
Thank God that my wife can see through it and see the man within. But,
No, I actually like it.
but
Keisha
I
said, and
think,
I love it.
well, me I got gym, no peer, no mind. Um, But people, women put on weight not just because of dieting issues. Sometimes after pregnancy,
Hormones, even before
sometimes
pregnancy.
when you're taking certain birth controls, this is what they
Yep.
do to your body because of different hormones. All kind of reasons that can happen. A woman put on weight.
Stress.
And what stress and what you don't want is that your wife feels insecure at this time. And so I think it's important to connect on a higher level, if I can put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, for men, I will say, you will connect on that level when you don't have options. I think a lot of men
Wow,
have
we have
options.
options.
A lot
Oh,
of men
wow.
feel like, oh, one wife a Lego, so we're going down the road.
Oh,
But when you
wow.
don't have options, you it's not about just that. And get married for the right reasons as well. And so you'll marry the person that your soul loves. And so even if you're going to work out, some people prefer being at a certain weight, that's fine. Some people want to get to a certain size, that's fine, or whatever else. But you should not be shamed by your spouse. You should
Mm,
always feel loved by your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And so we must show love. Even I am very careful, even how we express certain physical things that we know. I am because it can come off a certain way, and it might defeat the purpose of why you're saying it.
right.
Shaming people or don't making people feel loved, confident, appreciated, valued, don't always motivate them to make certain physical changes. It
Right.
actually puts them apart from you.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little careful how you do it. But yes, in some conversation, but it should not waver in your desire if you connect for the right reasons.
Yeah, I want to take it from a different angle. I guess it's how my mind works. But in terms of physical, what was the thing? Confidence and just
Self-esteem.
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 As a woman, um, it is very important. Like for me and for us, how we feel about ourselves affects how we respond to certain advances or how confident we are in doing certain things or allowing certain things. And so, though yes, that is something that we have to ensure that we work on how we see ourselves. I think the tone that our spouse sets and the things that my husband says to me helps build my confidence and makes me
Right.
like him actually really like how I look because he's consistent in what he says and stuff like that, and that helps, and that is why I believe God made us so different in such a way. Talking about male and female in general, and that is why you can't be selfish in marriage, and that's why you have to um, be affirming your spouse, and that's why you have to be looking out not just for your interest, because these things play on people's self-esteem. Because if all you're coming for is just some sex, and I feel like just a piece of meat. You don't really care about how I look or whatever. You just want to turn me backwards and get it over with and done. And there is no intimacy because a lot of marriages don't have intimacy. They just have sex.
Wow.
Um, it plays on your self-esteem. And if a woman, and a lot of men complain that their woman does not do this or they don't want to have sex a lot, and a lot of the times it's because they don't feel safe or
Mm.
confident that you are a safe space for them. That you're not going to go tell your friend them say this and that, or you're not going to shame them or tell them say them not that good, or and it's the same
Yeah.
for men too. A lot of men are insecure about whether it is that the size or the length of time that they are going, or just those little things. And I think if we're more willing to communicate with each other and help each other understand what each person likes, then it helps build self-esteem and it makes the experience much better. I hope
Yeah.
that answers the question.
It does. And just before Shai asked the other question, I just want to highlight a comment that was made that you basically also said, Keisha, that the repetition of affirmation brings about conviction.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you basically said, like
Yeah.
yeah,
reaffirming, you know, whether
yeah,
the husband reaffirming the wife reaffirming the husband
yeah.
is very important. Guys,
And
we're
men have
almost at
to learn
the
to
end.
be consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost at the end. We have two more questions. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to drop it now as we go to the ending. Over to you, Shay.
All right. So, what are some strategies for cultivating body positivity and confidence? What are some strategies?
I think that's something that, I mean, your spouse can encourage you. Your spouse can affirm you with words and stuff. Your spouse can,
Consistency, man.
yeah.
I think
Mm,
I think men have to
Uh,
learn that.
sorry, your mom.
Men have to learn. Are you guys hearing us?
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Men have to learn that they set the tone in marriage and in life, and that like consistency. I think one thing about Kavan is that he's consistent.
Right.
Um, him not gonna just tell me today and then and it's not like he's trying to put on something. I mean, he's very true to his word, but he consistently affirms and reaffirms, and that sets the tone, and it helps me to see myself in a different light. There were little things, about little things that women nitpick about their bodies,
Yep.
like early marriage. And he would see it in such a different light, like he calls stretch marks tiger stripes, and just like these little things, like and like at first you're saying, him just say that because I would feel bad, or him just love
Yeah.
it. And sometimes I tell him saying just blinded by love and him just hooked up. But it's been almost 13 years and
And it's
he's
still
just, yeah. And so if me not believe him by this point, brother, it
dead.
was rough. And so I think a lot of us stop or get discouraged because our spouse probably still seem to be insecure about stuff or seem to not be taking what we say. But if we can like be consistent and keep doing it, things get better. So I think that's one way to build body positivity and nurture that. Because the reality is we're not going to all just be um, big confident people. I think he was always like the very confident one. And so yeah, but he built that in me over time. And so I think yeah, it really helps.
Right. Wow. So consistency, like continuously
Yeah,
affirm.
Reassurance.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and if there's a thing, I'm trying to say this the right way. So if you feel like one of you have on too much weight, you can do something together. Like let's go to the gym together. Let's jog in the mornings together, and you feel supported in whatever you're trying to achieve. But the reality is, when it comes to body positivity, I don't think your spouse can truly do it for you. You have to
No.
love yourself.
Wow.
You have to love yourself and love your own skin. And we can encourage, we can affirm, but if you don't love you, nothing not gonna work, you know. But there are little things that we can do to encourage along the way while you work on truly loving your own
But it
skin.
helps and it goes a
Definitely,
long way.
definitely.
Because if I'm trying to love my own skin and you keep saying negative things about
Yeah, yeah. Take all the negative
how
talk.
I look, then it's gonna bring me down every time. And so it has to work both ways.
Yeah. We have two comments. Well, two of them is from Florence. She says, strategy, know the love language, then alert and appeal to it constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
good point.
helps.
Excellent point.
It helps.
And then in the initial stage, all relationships are hot and steamy. And after a while, passion will fade. You have to find a way to rekindle the fire.
I would
And I
say
think,
happens.
I say more life
I
happen
would
than
say
fire.
life happens
The
is
passion fade.
yeah, because sometimes not that you don't like the person anymore. It's just that life is happening. Like you
yeah,
get me say your children coming, like a million and one things happening, and you lose sight of just doing things together, stuff like that. And so being deliberate about ensuring that we are connecting and we are okay is very important, no matter what stage you are in marriage.
right. That's so true. And it kind of ties into the point that you mentioned, Keisha, about being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true to come on in the sense of find a way. If you feel like your spouse needs to probably lose weight or something, find a way to say you want us to do a couples activity together. I'm,
Hey,
I'm talking to myself, right, Oshane?
Wow, wow.
But yeah,
it can be walking, you can take baby steps. I think sometimes we pressure ourselves to just
too much.
do
Yeah,
it quickly, but if it's just walking for 20 minutes every evening, I don't know, walk and talk, those little
In the
things.
New Jerusalem way.
I have a question.
Shan,
I
what
have
your
a question.
question?
Can your love language change? Like
Oh,
over
Definitely.
yeah.
time?
Certainly.
Oh,
Oh,
Change
okay,
over and over.
okay.
And I think the biggest misconception is that everybody has one love language.
Not true.
But it's
yeah.
not true. It's more of a
You have
hierarchy.
a dominant one,
So
and then
there is a dominant one or two, because sometimes it's two
it's
dominant.
two.
Because I have
Yep.
two dominant ones. Most people I think have at least two dominant ones, but I think the others play a role in some way, shape, or form. And as you grow and as you change and in different seasons, they may switch. And things where you never think would are important to you become important. And that's why we have to constantly learn each other and constantly think, well,
My wife won't change daily.
right. You see, that is an
Wow,
opportunity for you to constantly be paying attention and learning her. But the truth is, most
right.
women don't even know what we like. And
Sometimes.
we blame the men and we say, oh, no, no, you know,
Yeah, you
me.
know,
And then when they ask, so what do you want? What would you want me to do? And we
Not a
can't, we
clue.
don't know. We
Can't
don't
tell.
know. So
We not have a clue.
we have to become more aware of what
Yes.
we want and who we are. That's the first thing, awareness, self awareness. And then to communicate effectively because the men can't read our mind or the but since we bring up the issue of love language, I think a good way to spot your spouse's love language if they don't know how to communicate it or say it in an effective way is to look at how they show you love naturally. Most of the time, we show love how we want to receive it. So you may have women whose dominant love language is gift giving, and when are your birthday, you know, them are gonna go all out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and so and then your love language may be affirmation, and you keep telling her, baby, you're the most beautiful woman in the
Oh, you're
world.
not fine now.
You
Yes.
can't even carry one sweet if you make me know you did that for my mind. And so these
Yes.
are the things. So yeah, we have to be paying attention to each other constantly because they do change over time.
Yeah, I want to add to that, Keisha, because it's recently I have been learning more of that, as in not to love, and it's not just like in a relationship. The other day we were talking about it in friendship too. Not
Mm-hmm.
to love somebody the way you want to be loved, but
Exactly.
how they need to be loved. I
Exactly.
think a lot of times that's what we do. Whatever we want, that we do. I wanna pay attention to like whatever it is that our spouses need. So maybe you go buy a Coach bag and she don't want that.
She just
She
want you to
just,
spend some time with her. You
or she
know?
just want you to buy her
Quality
some
time.
food or some very simple and you do something so up there. It's like she wanna what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very true. And yes, it does change. It change over time and time again. And nothing is wrong with like redoing even that test. And I think for us females, Keisha, as you rightfully say, sometimes we really don't know what's going on with us. So maybe
Exactly.
like redoing the test to see, like, oh, maybe
Has
I like
something
this
to
now. Yeah. And and you guys both talk about it so that you can be guided and the male can be guided
Oh
and
yeah.
the relationship can actually be healthy and communication can be very present. So, as we're on our last question, it's basically what are you guys' final advice for couples looking to enhance their sex life and deepen their intimacy and singles that are preparing to be married?
for
Like
couples.
myself.
The best way, best way to enhance your sex life is to have sex. So go have sex, enjoy it, communicate, share what you like, share what you don't like, do it in the moment, try new things. If you're thinking about your wife, man, let them know you think about them. Let them know, yo, babe, no, can't wait to be. Just as Keisha said, it start long before it happens.
Yeah.
Do the little things that them argue about. Fold up the clothes, wash the plate. These things that is how them get turned on. Them weird, but that's
It's
how it goes.
true.
But you want
Oh
the
God.
best way to have a good
So
sex life
true.
is to have sex. So go and have sex.
Oh good. And what you saying to the unmarried
Single.
Oh,
people?
and
You
to the
said
unmarried,
that.
we never remember, oh no, unmarried people don't have sex. Now, this is what I would
Okay.
say. The best quality you can learn now for both men and female, but are pushing the men, unmarried men, but both men and female is self-control. And so we are teaching ourselves but through pornography, through masturbation, through having sex, that I cannot control my urges when I want it. I must get a release. And what happens is that you go into marriage, and some of us are well meaning, but we have never learned how to be it or cool
Only.
down and hold it. So, for example, your wife as a child can have sex for months. You don't know how to
Yes.
stay
Wow.
Exactly.
celibate. You have never experienced that in your life. Because once I need it, it's porn, it's masturbation, it's joint
Just
for a
somebody.
sexual partner. And
Yeah.
so the best thing you can do for yourself to prepare for marriage is to learn self-control. That when these moments come, if your husband travels, if he's not well, if you are not well, whatever, we have learned and practiced self-control because we're creatures of patterns and creatures of
Habit.
habits and repetition. And so it's one of the best things you can teach yourself right now, so that you can be a faithful husband and a faithful wife.
Yeah, and I would say for unmarried couples first, my advice is marry somebody you're in awe of.
Wow.
And is in awe of you.
And who is in awe of you. Yeah, it has to be both ways. And when I talk about awe, I'm not just talking about physical awe,
Yeah.
just
Everything.
in awe of who you are and you are in awe of who they are. And we normally use this example in our coaching about just when you have a mentor or how people call idol or somebody who you look up to, um, when they do something to offend you or say something that you didn't like, your first instinct is not to lash out at them or to talk to them a certain way. You even start making up excuses for them. You start saying maybe they were having an off there, maybe I know that they mean. And then when you decide to address it, you tread lightly and you say, you know, you said something and it really hurt my feelings and stuff like that. But what we tend to do when we choosing partners or whatever, we just, I mean, it's kind of haphazard and sometimes the person annoy the life out of you. And then your response is either very rude or out of anger or whatever. But when you are in awe of the person, no matter how frustrated you get, are you gonna have arguments? Yes, but you're not going to hit below the belt because you hold this person in such
In
high
that regard.
esteem
Yeah.
that if something is bothering you, or if you're upset about something, you're going to think twice before you address it a certain way, or you're going to say to them, I didn't like how you said that. And even if it start getting heated, you still are going to pull back. It helps you to restrain yourself because you respect this person so much and you would never do anything
So
to disrespect them or to and so a lot of people might look at that and feel like, oh, that is not freedom in whatever. But it is, because the truth is, Kavan just spoke about self-control, and that doesn't just apply to sex. Some of us feel like being open and honest mean we can say anything that comes to our mind. That can't work in
Hmm.
marriage. So marry somebody you're in awe of and who is in awe of you. And if them not in awe of you, walk away. Because you can't be the only one in awe. Because somebody is going to be taken for granted.
Mm.
So
wow.
that's my advice. Choose wisely.
And of course, O'Shane says part of his job is to annoy his wife. Oh my
No,
lord.
I know it's different from annoy.
Right. Yeah. Wow. I have learned so much. Even
Faith.
the last see, thank you to the aliens, even the last comment too was there was just so much, that you guys kind of wrap up in a one like a gift wrapper. The point of self-control and just how Kavan was able to take it even further from like being single into marriage, and your spouse traveling, or you alone at home, or even with the pregnancy thing, being pregnant and the wife not being able to have a child right away and all of that. Like that is so important because there is so many marriages with so many problems because of that same word, that self-control. That self-control is so important. And as Keisha rightfully said, like, consider everything. Don't just go into it for going into its sake. Really prepare yourself and get married to the person where you're really in love with, because sometimes it's gonna get hard. And when it gets hard, what are you going to do?
Yeah, because your responses will determine your future. Yeah.
Yep, Shy. Any final words?
Thank you, and I thank you, cause
We say I make
wow,
notes.
you know, you're taking notes. I'm sorry, I'm taking notes.
That's fine.
But I've never heard anyone said marry someone who you're in awe of.
Yeah.
I've never heard it that way. And then like it just like when a flowers like you plant the flowers and then it start bloom and everything.
Yeah.
See it blooming in my mind, me I say, wow, like I've never heard it like this before. And thank you.
You're
You guys
Yeah.
welcome.
are
Yeah.
welcome. It's an
Bye.
honor, man.
Yeah, it
Like,
was indeed great. As Brittany and Renee say, thank you to the aliens. And Renee say, as a single notes are taken. Period.
Right through.
And then Janelle says, great session. Yeah. So you guys are so awesome. Thank you.
Thank
And I
you.
know how busy you guys are and how tired
yeah,
Kavan is right now. But we really appreciate it.
that is
And even in this moment, guys, I want you to let you know that they have a business, House of Clay JA, a wedding business where Keisha make dresses, guys. Some
Absolutely.
bomb.com
Yes.
dresses, you know? So you can find them on Instagram and even at this point too, we shout out all our other YouTubers officially should throughout a lifetime TV, Lady Glenn and I Evolve Global. And I think on Wednesday will be the last devotional for I Am Remnant JA. So go out and watch it. And in addition, Keisha and Coven actually has a Monday night
Oh
spill the
yeah.
tea
on
on
fire.
marriage Instagram live. And you guys can always go on at 8 p.m. Jamaica time and
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Married and single, you can come on.
Yeah.
exactly. And
And
learn.
Something for
they
everybody.
also offer marriage coaching as
Mm.
well. Coach married and soon to be married couples. Get you prepared for marriage. How to become one. And so that's another thing that we do.
Boy, I have to shout out that the last two comments. One thing for sure, Kavan and Keisha gonna drop a lot of knowledge. And Venada says, to the man who preached one of my favorite messages of all time.
Wow.
Oh, I wonder which one that
Who
was.
that?
Man and his lovely wife. Thanks for this session. And
I wonder
Shani
which one that.
says,
Which church went out over to?
Venada, they all over the place. Westmoreland, Kingston. So I couldn't even tell you which
It's
one.
probably last year too, you know.
Well, that's good to be. Thank you guys for your kind
Thank
words. Much
you.
appreciated.
Yes, Shani Thomas says, good stuff, good stuff. Hi,
Hey,
Shani.
Sean, Sean.
Yeah,
Thanks for inviting us and
of
considering.
course, of course. And even as I close, oh yes, I remember that sermon then. Romans 8, no condemnation at camp. I
Wow.
know that sermon. Yes,
Wow.
that is true.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you so much, guys.
Great.
yes, guys, that's it for tonight. We'll see you all next week, Sunday, same time at 7 p.m.
A
JA.
voting time now, you know, man, we have, you know.
That makes sense.
Tomorrow. Local election is tomorrow, my friend.
Right? I
Thumbs
was
up to
about
that.
to put it up and
Thumbs
then
up.
I'm like, oh, but
Yeah,
wait.
thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs
Oh, hi, Bishop Daly.
You
Welcome.
have to go
Nice
out
seeing you
before
here,
you
sir.
start to
Yeah. So, yes, guys, thank you for watching. I see a lot of new names tonight. Thank you all to the new people for coming and supporting. And we love you all. Good night. Have a safe night and a great week. Bye.